How's it going, everybody? So in the last video, I talked a little bit about the coming recession, interest rates, and savings. So I want to talk a little bit more about that in this video. So in my previous video, when I had talked about interest rates and how they affect you, one of the things that I mentioned was you can take advantage of the rising interest rates by opening and using high yield savings accounts. So if you've paid attention, if you looked at the different high yield savings accounts, they have definitely made a comeback. They are offering, a lot of them are offering around 2.25% on your savings right now. And that's really beneficial if you have savings in the bank. You can make quite a bit of money if you leave that money in there. So there's some of the different ones that I've been using. I've been using the T-Mobile Money. I've actually been using the Credit Karma savings. And I know Robinhood was one of them before that was paying really good interest, but right now it looks like you have to sign up for Robinhood Gold and they'll give you 3% interest. So I don't know if that's really worth it because I'm pretty sure you have to pay for Robinhood Gold. I think it's like $10 or $15 a month. So in my opinion, that's not really worth it to use that one. But if you look around, you can find some pretty good high interest savings accounts. And another big thing that I've been talking about is setting up savings for the coming recession, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you could be losing your job. You don't know if you need to move or relocate for a new job. So having some savings is a really good idea, and you might as well be earning interest on those savings if you're going to have your different savings building up. I'm going to switch hands again. I apologize. I'm probably going to make a separate video talking about the pros and cons of T-Mobile Money, because I used to like it a lot more, but then they changed it so that you have a T-Mobile checkings account and you have to make 10 transactions to get your interest up to 4%. Now 4% is pretty good, but I think it's frustrating that in a savings account they changed it to a checking account. And with your savings, the way they have it set up, they're incentivizing you to spend your money so that you can earn more interest. And that's the complete opposite of what I want to do with my savings account. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but I'm taking advantage of the 4% interest. But with the rising inflation, or with the rising interest rates, the high yield savings accounts are becoming more and more attractive. And that's something that you can count on. They're all FDIC insured, unlike the crypto interest that I was using before. The crypto interest, there's no rules in crypto. There's no regulation. There's no FDIC insurance. So if the companies went under, then you lost. So that happened to people that had money in Celsius. That happened to people that had money in Voyager. I had my Cardano in Voyager and I lost all of my Cardano. And I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. I'm going to have to wait and see. But I've kind of just made up, in my mind, I've prepared myself to lose all of that money if that ends up happening. That way I don't have my hopes up that I'm going to get it back. And it's kind of a sad reality, but I knew that was the risk that was associated with putting money in there. And it was a chance that could happen. So these accounts, these high yield savings accounts, they're FDIC insured. So even if the company goes bankrupt, the government will give you your fiat currency back. And so that's something that you can count on. You can put your money in there, you can earn interest on it, and it starts to add up once you get a few $1,000s in there. Having that interest build up really helps with the compound interest on your savings. So having savings right now is a good idea, especially if you're in a place where you don't know how stable your job is going to be. Start putting as much money as you can into savings, and use these high interest savings accounts to earn money on your savings while they're just sitting there. And talking about the possible coming recession, this next year could be pretty bad. It could get pretty ugly, or we could be in the worst of it. I'm not really too sure. But having that savings set aside will set you up for a good point to either find future opportunities investing in the stock market, crypto market, real estate market, or it could set you up for a good opportunity to move somewhere else, different things. And if you lose your job, then you're going to need that money. You're going to have to live off of it. So try to get some savings set up now so that you're set up, taken care of for the future. And if it doesn't end up being too bad, then at least you have that money set aside, and it'll put you a step ahead of everybody else. So try to find, I'll try to put some links in the description of some good high interest savings accounts that I've been looking at. There's a lot of people that have been talking about different high interest savings accounts. I know Graham Stephan has made quite a few videos about them, and that extra interest earned on your savings will really help out. So thanks everybody for watching. I'll try to make a video soon talking about the pros and cons of T-Mobile Money, because I think it is worth it, but it's kind of frustrating the way it's set up. But if you're a T-Mobile customer, you could get up to 4% APY on your savings, up to $3,000, and then 2.25 after that, which is still pretty good. So SoFi is also another good one that has a pretty high interest. That one you usually have to have direct deposit set up and a few other steps, but that's another good one that you could use. Another thing to keep in mind is earning that interest is taxable income, so you'll want to keep track of it, and for your tax purposes you'll want to make sure that you know how much you need to pay on that, because that comes as a surprise sometimes to some people. And if you go to H&R Block, they may charge you extra to calculate that interest. So it becomes more and more worth it to do your taxes on your own when you start getting into this stuff, or to find somebody who's not going to charge you extra for all these little forms. So thanks again for watching, everybody. I'll make another video here soon talking about T-Mobile Money and some of the other accounts that I like using. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.